Welcome to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe it and press the bell icon. When we talk about medications like Sildenafil, often known by its brand name Viagra, or Tadalafil, commonly called Cialis, it's important to first understand what these drugs actually do inside the body. Many people think of them as some kind of instant performance enhancer, a magic pill that can transform sexual function in anyone who takes it. But that's not how they work. These medications are specifically designed for men who struggle with erectile dysfunction, which means they have difficulty achieving or maintaining an erection firm enough for sexual activity. The way these drugs work is by enhancing the natural process that happens when a man is aroused. They don't create arousal or desire. They simply make it easier for blood to flow into the penis once arousal has already started. In the body, an erection is all about blood flow. When you're sexually stimulated, certain signals are sent from the brain to the blood vessels in the penis, telling them to relax and allow more blood to flow in. At the same time, the veins that carry blood away get compressed, which keeps that blood inside and creates firmness. What Sildenafil and Tadalafil do is block an enzyme called PD5, which normally breaks down the chemical messengers that help those blood vessels relax. By blocking that enzyme, the medications allow the blood vessels to stay open longer, which supports a stronger and longer lasting erection. But here's the key part: this process only happens if there's sexual stimulation to begin with. If you're not aroused, taking the pill won't automatically create an erection. That's why taking these medications, just for fun, often leads to disappointment. Someone without erectile dysfunction may take a pill expecting to feel instantly energized, turned on, or supercharged. But the reality is that these medications don't affect libido or excitement. They don't flood your body with testosterone. They don't make you last longer. And they certainly don't guarantee a better experience if your body is already functioning normally. In fact, without the underlying problem of ED, the changes in blood flow are usually not dramatic enough to notice any difference at all. So before thinking of these pills as some kind of sexual booster, it's important to recognize that they were created for a very specific medical purpose, and their benefits are only meaningful in that context. A lot of men are curious about whether these medications can actually give them an edge in the bedroom if they don't have erectile dysfunction. It's a common question. Will taking Sildenafil or Tadalafil make me last longer, feel stronger, or perform better than I normally would? The short answer is, for most healthy men, the answer is no. These medications don't work like a performance-enhancing drug in the way people often imagine. They don't increase sexual desire, they don't raise testosterone levels, and they don't magically extend your stamina. What they do is improve blood flow in situations where that process isn't working properly. If you already have normal erectile function, your body is already doing this efficiently, so the medication doesn't have much extra to add. There have been studies where men without ED were given these drugs to see if they noticed a difference. The majority didn't experience any meaningful changes in their erections or overall satisfaction. Some even reported no difference at all compared to when they didn't take the pill. That's because the medications are designed to correct a problem, not to elevate normal function to a superhuman level. It's kind of like wearing glasses when your vision is already perfect. You won't suddenly see an ultra high definition. You'll just have glasses sitting on your face without much benefit. Now, there is something else to think about. Some men may feel more confident after taking the pill because they believe it's going to help them. That placebo effect can play a role, and in some cases, the added confidence can make the experience feel different. But that doesn't mean the medication is enhancing performance. It means the mind is influencing how the body responds. Relying on that feeling, though, can be risky because it creates the illusion that the pill is necessary when in reality it isn't. The truth is, for men who don't have erectile dysfunction, taking these medications usually doesn't deliver the results they're hoping for. Instead of giving you a noticeable boost, they often leave you wondering if anything changed at all. When people think about medications like sildenafil or tadalafil, they often focus only on the potential benefits and overlook the fact that these are still prescription drugs with very real side effects. Even when taken correctly, many men experience discomfort, and when they're used casually or without medical need, those side effects can become more noticeable and bothersome. Some of the most common short-term issues include headaches, flushing of the face, nasal congestion, indigestion, and even changes in vision, such as a blue tint or increased sensitivity to light. While these may not sound very serious at first, they can take away from the very experience someone was hoping to improve. Imagine preparing for intimacy only to be distracted by a pounding headache or a sudden wave of nausea. It's hardly the outcome most men are expecting when they take the pill for fun. Another thing to consider is that these medications also affect blood pressure. They work by dilating blood vessels, and that means a person might feel dizzy, lightheaded, or unusually fatigued. For someone with no underlying problem, these sensations can feel unnecessary and unpleasant, especially if the medication doesn't provide the dramatic benefit they assumed it would. In fact, for some men, the discomfort can outweigh any minor improvement they might have noticed, making the experience frustrating rather than enjoyable. Even the milder side effects can carry risks when ignored. For example, recurring headaches or flushing are signals that the body is being pushed in a way it doesn't need to be. Over time, this can lead to a negative association with sexual activity, where the anxiety of anticipating those side effects overshadows intimacy itself. And because every body reacts differently, someone may feel nothing the first time they take it, but on another occasion, the side effects might suddenly show up, catching them off guard. The bottom line is that these short-term side effects are not rare, and they aren't something you can always predict or control. Taking a drug that isn't needed can turn what should be a positive, natural experience into something uncomfortable or even disappointing. One of the biggest concerns when it comes to using these medications recreationally is the potential for serious risks that go far beyond mild headaches or flushing. Sildenafil and tadalafil are powerful drugs, and when they're taken without medical guidance, the chances of harmful interactions increase significantly. These medications lower blood pressure by relaxing blood vessels, and while that's what helps men with erectile dysfunction, it can be dangerous when combined with certain substances. For example, if someone is also drinking alcohol, the combined effect can cause their blood pressure to drop too low, leading to dizziness, fainting, or even loss of consciousness. That's not only unsafe, but could put them in a vulnerable position during an intimate moment. The risks become even greater when these drugs are mixed with nitrates, which are commonly prescribed for chest pain or heart disease. Together, the drop in blood pressure can become life-threatening, and this is one of the main reasons doctors stress that these medications should never be taken without proper evaluation. Even in healthy men, the body can react unpredictably, and what starts as a casual experiment can quickly turn into a medical emergency. There's also the issue of dosage. Some men, thinking more is better, may take higher amounts than recommended or combine different medications. This not only increases the chance of severe side effects like chest pain, vision problems, or priapism, a painful erection that lasts for hours and requires immediate medical attention, but it also places unnecessary strain on the heart and circulatory system. It's easy to overlook these dangers when the focus is on trying to enhance performance, but it's worth remembering that these are prescription medications for a reason. They're not meant to be used casually, and the risks don't disappear just because someone is young, healthy, or curious. In fact, using them recreationally may expose men to dangers they would never otherwise face. The reality is that when these medications are misused, the risks can far outweigh any supposed benefit, and what was intended as a shortcut to pleasure can end in the emergency room. Another problem that doesn't get talked about enough when men take these medications without really needing them is the psychological side of things. At first, it might feel harmless, taking a pill just in case or to feel more confident in the bedroom, but over time, that casual use can turn into a kind of dependency. Instead of believing in their natural ability to perform, men may start to think they can't have a satisfying sexual experience without the pill. This mindset slowly chips away at confidence and creates a cycle where the medication becomes more about reassurance than necessity. What often happens is that the pill becomes a safety net. A man might go into an encounter feeling nervous, but because he's taken the medication, he convinces himself everything will go smoothly. That sense of comfort comes not from the body working better, but from the belief that the pill is responsible. Over time, that belief can grow stronger and suddenly sex without the pill feels risky or even impossible. This kind of reliance doesn't just affect performance. It affects self-esteem, relationships, and overall mental health. The other danger is that expectations can be inflated. Some men imagine these drugs will make them perform longer, harder, or better than they naturally can. When the reality doesn't match up, disappointment sets in. That disappointment can create even more pressure the next time. And rather than fixing anything, the medication ends up being tied to feelings of inadequacy. It's a mental trap that's hard to escape once it starts. Sexual confidence is deeply connected to the mind as much as the body. Believing in your natural ability, trusting your partner, and feeling comfortable in your own skin play a much larger role in intimacy than any pill can provide. When someone replaces that confidence with medication they don't truly need, they risk losing the most important part of performance, the belief that they're enough as they are. Depending on a pill when there's no medical reason for it may solve nothing in the long run and can leave you feeling less secure than when you started. When men reach for sildenafil or tadalafil without a true medical need, it often comes from the belief that a pill is the fastest way to boost performance. But the reality is that the most powerful and reliable ways to improve sexual health don't come from a pharmacy. They come from the choices you make every day. Simple lifestyle changes can have a dramatic impact not only on sexual performance but also on overall well-being. Exercise is one of the most effective examples. Regular physical activity improves blood circulation, lowers stress, supports healthy hormone levels, and strengthens the heart, all of which play a direct role in maintaining healthy erections. Men who stay active consistently report better energy, better confidence, and better sexual function compared to those who don't. Sleep is another key factor that's often underestimated. Poor sleep leads to fatigue, lower testosterone, and higher stress, all of which can interfere with arousal and performance. Making a commitment to quality rest isn't just good for your mood and productivity, it also keeps your body primed for intimacy. In the same way, nutrition matters more than many realize. Diets rich in whole foods like fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats support vascular health, which is the foundation of strong erections. On the other hand, excessive alcohol, processed foods, and smoking can narrow blood vessels and make problems worse over time. Stress management is another overlooked piece of the puzzle. Anxiety, whether from work, relationships, or even the pressure to perform, can quickly interfere with sexual function. Techniques like meditation, deep breathing, or simply taking time to relax can ease the mind and allow the body to respond naturally. Beyond that, one of the most powerful tools in any intimate relationship is open communication with a partner. Being able to share desires, worries, or insecurities creates connection and lowers the pressure, which often results in better, more satisfying experiences without any need for medication. All of these habits together create a foundation where the body and mind are working at their best. Instead of looking for shortcuts, building this kind of lifestyle ensures that performance is sustainable, natural, and reliable. In the long run, that's far more powerful than any pill could ever be.